let's make lemonade. Okay. Let's go to work.
That's the signal. Go.
Six.
It's beautiful.
Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Start your day with a jolt of energy and no-holds-barred opinions. This is The Rush, where Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bring you bold, unfiltered, and uncensored takes on sports, life, and everything in between. Buckle up and let's go.
It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. Happy Thursday, everybody. It's good to have you along. If you're listening on the audio stream, it's rushradio.com or on the Rush Radio app on your Android device. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. If you're watching on YouTube, give this channel a subscription. Like this video. Start leaving your comments in the comment section. And, of course, follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Good morning, Ross Peterson. How you doing?
I'm doing great, buddy. How's Thursday out in western Nebraska?
Well, Thursday's good. Yesterday was interesting because I made a rookie mistake. I'm not a hiker, right? You went on the Camino, obviously, in Portugal and went on really long walks every day. And what did you probably have with you on your walk?
Water?
On your hike. Yeah, water. So I go to Toadstool Park yesterday. Toadstool it goes back to prehistoric times where you've got dinosaur fossils and all this other stuff. And I'm like, hey, let's go to the Hudson Mang bison kill site. So what happened was about 10,000 years ago, bison just took off running on a stampede, didn't stop, and went to the bottom of this basically gulch, and they all died, right? And they were discovered like in 1967 or something like that. But it was a 3.1 mile walk one way, 3.1 miles back. Didn't take any water, and that was a rookie mistake. That was a big time rookie mistake in the walking world, folks. If you go on a walk, if you go on a hike, bring agua. There's a reason they tell you to bring the water. I was fine on the way out. On the way back, about halfway, I'm like, I think I need some water. My spit isn't working anymore. You know, I mean, you're like trying to drum up enough saliva in your mouth just to swallow anything to make you to wet your beak a little bit.
Do you, in those moments, do you pretend that you're Clark Griswold from Vacation? Remember when he walks through the desert? They crash the car.
I've been Clark Griswold on this vacation more than you probably realize. and it started when we were leaving the house because I backed out of the house or out of the driveway, and my wife forgot to tell me. Well, she told me. I just blaming her at this point that the trash cans were there, and I took the trash cans out right away. So it was all the recyclables from the graduation party. So all of a sudden I'm like, put that thing in reverse. Okay, we're on vacation. All of a sudden, everything spread all over the street, and
That's awesome.
Of course, instead of accepting blame for myself, I blamed my wife and said, "This was your fault. You know, who puts the trash can right there?"
Yeah.
She goes, "You have a camera on your car. You should have seen said trash can." And she goes, "It was far enough to the side. You just started, initiating the turn early." So you could get out of the driveway faster. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. You put the trash can right behind the car. It's your fault. Your fault. So I assigned blame is what I did.
We wouldn't have assumed any less.
Yeah, I know. And today, Ross, I didn't tell you this during our pre-show little meeting, which really isn't a meeting. It's just you and I talking about life. Today is my 32nd anniversary. So,
dude.
Yes, Anjanette and I have been married 32 years today.
That is awesome. Congratulations on that, man.
She's
that's
actually
a huge accomplishment. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, I think I think she's only liked me maybe 5 or 6 of those 32 years. But hey, we've made it this far. My mom and dad got divorced after 40. I'm not saying we're going to get divorced, but I'm like, my mom and dad were
Really?
married
40 years together?
40 years, yeah. And then they got divorced. They should have got divorced after year 1, but they stuck it out for another 39. Thank God, because I wouldn't be here if they would have. But
you have this thing where you think next year's going to be better.
Yeah, you're like, oh, it can't get any worse. Oh, hold my beer. Yeah. So she hasn't woke up yet. Yesterday she was up at 5 a.m. with the dog out, but she hasn't arisen out of her slumber. So that means the dog must be doing pretty good. So
that's a big congrats to you, Trav, and even bigger congratulations to Anjanette, because I guess the big congratulations goes to you. Congratulations on having a wife that stuck by you.
Yes, I think that's the big key, is that my wife has actually stuck by me. I would say this. 9 out of 10 women, if they've had to put up with what they've had to put up with me over the last 32 years, would have left me. There's no doubt about that. I would have been, I probably would have been married and divorced probably like 3 times. But luckily,
oh yeah, you would have been one of those guys.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That'd be a really driven Travis, though.
Yeah,
really, really driven Travis, because instead of having to pay for school bills, you'd be like, I got 4 alimonies and 9 child supports I got to pay. Let's make money. I'd be like, hell yeah, this guy's a money train.
Oh yeah, it's so true. So I'm lucky that my wife still loves me, my kids love me, because there was a point in my life that it wasn't going well.
But Trav, like I'm not kidding, dude. I say this all the time. If everybody can be in your your position at your age, where your kids love you, where your kids like hanging out with you. I mean, your kids all love you, but they would all say with that really fun tone, yeah, we tolerate dad. Right?
There's truth to that. There's a lot of truth.
That's
to that.
You've done a wonderful job, man. You and Anjanette. Again, I don't want to give you all the credit here.
No, it's
you
all
and Anjanette.
It's all Anjanette. There's no doubt about
you guys
it.
should be very, very, very proud.
Well,
that's an awesome 40 years, buddy.
We were
or 30,
32.
32.
And it was funny because we have Abigail here with us. Of course, I'm getting ready to be a grandfather for the first time, which is really cool. And then we had Mary texting us from New Orleans last night. Was really cool. But at our last trip out, I took the kids out to the house, my mom's house, on Sunday, I think. It was Saturday. And I said, hey, do you want to see the house for the last time? And they did. And there was a box of VHS tapes there. And my brother Nick goes, hey, you might as well take these because they're all of you. They're all of you. And lo and behold, my mom preserved her VCR. It was in perfect shape. It is I mean, these would be hard to find, right? And guess who scooped it up? Owen's like, oh, I want those. I want that. I want the VCR and I want the tapes. So we're just sitting here last night, and we noticed the garage door open, and Anjanette calls Owen, and yeah, I'm at the house. I'm like, okay. Well, 20 minutes later, he's watching all the VHS tapes, and he's sending us screenshots, and it's me starting my television career at Grandview. He found the first Grandview basketball game that I called.
No way.
Yes. And
dude,
so
you kept all of that.
My mom did. I did not. My mom did. I didn't even know this stuff existed. So he sends me the screenshot of me interviewing C.L. Brownsberger, who was the head coach at Grandview at the time. He's like, the coach is very well spoken. And he goes, you were pretty good, Dad. I'm like, thanks. I appreciate it. I mean, I was, 21, 22 years old, actually 21 at the time. And then he just started sending all these screenshots, and we're like, oh, my God, all this stuff still exists. So he's going to go and get it all digitized so we actually have a digital copy of it. Because who knows how long that VCR will last. I mean, how many people still have a VCR? I mean, it's like my mom never took the damn thing out of the box. It was like, this thing's like brand new. I'm like, oh, my God, it works. It works.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. And if he finds a place that can do the digitization from VHS into digital, let us know, because I've had a lot of people ask me about that stuff, and that's hard to find.
There's a place in Omaha that does it. I'm sure there's a place in Des Moines, but it's expensive because they they realize that you have those memories there, and what will they charge? They'll charge for those memories. They're like, oh, you need this? We have the service.
But boy, oh, Trav, I've told you this. This happened 2 years ago, or was it last year at the Christmas in July up in northern Wisconsin? My uncle Bob, brought out the reel-to-reel. Dude, it was like Christmas Vacation. Again, that's another vacation reference. We set up a screen in the garage. All the grandkids sat around. I mean, there was 40 of us in this garage, piled up on bean bags, and my uncle pulled down the reel-to-reel and fired up this black and white.
So you had the 8mm film.
Yeah, of my mom. Like, that's awesome. So cool, man.
I'll send you the screenshot of me interviewing C.L. Brownsberger. He was the head coach at Grandview, but right before Nick Nurse. So C.L. Brownsberger was the head coach, and then Nick Nurse came in after C.L. And he also, I think he was like a physical education teacher at Grandview as well. And then I'm like, boy, I was skinny back then. I was like, damn, I had hair. I think I still have the tie that I was wearing. I'm like, I go to Angie and I go, do I still have that tie? I think I still have that tie.
C.L. Brownsberger. What a great name. We need to get back to those classic. It was probably something like Charles Lawrence.
Yeah, you just put the initials behind it, C.L.
C.L. Brownsberger.
But doesn't that just sound like a coach? Doesn't that name just sound like a coach? C.L. Brownsberger. And the Vikings are coached by C.L. Brownsberger.
What happened to C.L. Brownsberger? If Nick Nurse, because the guy who took his job went on to win an NBA title.
Well, I Googled C.L. Brownsberger last night after I saw that, and I don't know if it's the same C.L. Brownsberger, because I don't even know how old he would be. And I saw that there was a C.L. Brownsberger that was named like a head baseball coach somewhere. But I'm like, well, he was a basketball coach. But, a lot of coaches, they just want to coach, so they'll coach any sport if they can. But it was at the high school level. I don't know if it was the same C.L. Brownsberger. I don't know if on social media he goes by his real name. But, if you're a former Viking player listening to this, and you know where C.L. Brownsberger is, boy, that would be a find.
C.L. Brownsberger. I wouldn't have guessed that there were more than one.
I wouldn't think so either.
But I think you're right. I think there are. Huh. That's really cool, Trav. Glad you found those, dude.
Yeah. So I think Owen, like, you pop popcorn and just set up in our room is watching VHS tapes all night. Then you look at the VHS and you go, why? I mean, it was such a great thing at the time. Remember, you go to Blockbuster, you'd go and Be Kind, Rewind, but the quality was just so bad, so bad.
About a block from Audrey's school, there's a yard sign, and it's got three. I should have taken a picture of it. It's got three colors. It's like white, yellow, and blue. And in the white part, it says "be," and in the yellow part, it says "kind," and in the blue part, it says nothing.
Sorry about that.
And my brain says, "Be kind, rewind."
Did you always rewind?
No. I'd get the look from the guy. So yeah, Pleasant Hill had a place called Video Source. There was a guy that owned it named Carl. It was like a movie.
It was Carl Spackler from Caddyshack.
Imagine him, but with a lot more wits and a lot more angst. Every kid in Pleasant Hill has a story of Carl from Video Source showing up at their house. You rented Adventures in Babysitting and didn't return it? Oh yeah, it's in the basement, Carl. Hold on.
We had I remember because the VCR would rewind really, really slow. So we bought a special rewinder.
Yes, I remember that.
You'd put it down and it'd rewind at 3 times the speed.
When we go to Wisconsin, that the only form of entertainment up there, because you don't get anything up there. There's a TV with a VCR, and there's like hundreds of VHS cassettes, and there's a rewinder. Because you don't want to sit through that process. Who's got 8 minutes to sit there while the thing rewinds?
And it used to have the counter on it. Is it you do like you'd be like putting the speedometer? It'd be like the Ferris Bueller. You'd try to see the speedometer go backwards. Oh, those were the
What
days.
VHS did you watch the most? I watched Braveheart a lot. I watched Forrest Gump a lot. Then there was this one part of True Lies.
Well, it's funny. I just between you and me.
Yeah, just us girls talking.
I probably watched Bachelor Party the most because there was a scene where he walks in right at the beginning, and is it Rebecca De Mornay who pops up and she's just naked? So they got froze there quite a bit, with the line going through it. It was always the one that had and Roger Rabbit, Roger Rabbit was probably the other one. And it wasn't for the adventures of Roger Rabbit. It was for Jessica Rabbit. That's just between you and me. Don't tell anybody.
I would never tell anybody.
Yeah, don't tell anybody.
I'd be embarrassed to tell people that I knew a guy that used to Jeff to Jessica Rabbit.
I'm just being honest with you. Just sharing my childhood. You didn't Jeff to Jessica Rabbit? Really?
Never have I seen a drawing and been like, yeah. Never in my life.
Oh.
He said, oh.
Oh.
I love you.
That's just between
I
us.
know. Tyler,
think...
he's told me the Jessica Rabbit thing before. He has. It never disappoints.
But yeah, that's about it. Because my dad, he never had porn around the house. And
yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. You just never found it.
I never found it.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Have you never thought of that?
I'm
sorry. Sorry, this is a gross thing to think about, but yeah.
I don't think he did.
Travis, your dad was a trucker.
Now he had the magazines. I know that, but I'm talking.
Then what were you talking about? That's like, porn.
Like stag films. I never.
Oh,
yeah.
If that's your definition, if your definition of porn is specifically porn film, like never. Yeah, I'll believe that he didn't have a cassette tape around of Debbie Does whatever.
Dallas. It would have been Dallas.
I knew.
Okay. Again, that was just between you and I. I just sharing this morning. Maybe sharing a little bit too much. But that's okay. That's okay. I don't think anybody's listening to this.
Yeah, they are. Sorry.
Even though my mother and father-in-law are like right over there.
Charlie says the concerning part is that you bring it up one time, it's a joke. If you bring it up multiple times, it starts to feel uncomfortable.
I don't mean to make people feel uncomfortable. It's just, again, these conversations come up randomly, and Ross and I, revisit old topics that we've brought up once before. But not everybody's heard the stories before. And I don't think I've told the story on the new show, so it's new to this show. Hey, but, because I don't want to forget, tomorrow's a big day. And if people could spread the word, if my math is correct, tomorrow will be the 100th episode of the new Rush radio show. So my wife looked at me yesterday. I said, hey, I think Friday, because I went through our sections and I started in today's episode 99 on the podcast, and tomorrow will be episode 100.
Very cool.
Is that
that was fast. That was fast.
Very, very fast. And I think there's been people here who have listened to all 100 shows. I really do believe that.
Several of our comment family that we have, that group of folks that that seems to have been from day one. We've had several of those folks on board. Thank you guys so much. Thank you all so much. That's it. Yeah.
And thank you to our advertisers who make this show possible. I know there were a lot of people who thought we were crazy when we did this. Like, how are you going to make it work? We've had a core group of people who believe in this show, who believe what we do, and still come on board and stick with us, which is awesome. And new ones that keep coming on, like the Iowa Fireworks Farm. Fireworks Farm is the place to get your bumper crop of boomers at dirt cheap prices. And when you go to therushradio.com, click on that promotions tab, and you can register to win a weekly $50 gift certificate leading up to the 4th of July. And then we're going to give a grand prize away, which is the Godfather, valued at $700. You're going to have a great finale, and you can win it right here from the Iowa Fireworks Farm.
Here's what it'd be. What a fun Friday or something to do on over the weekend, man. You are 25 minutes from getting down to the Iowa Fireworks Farm, straight south on I-35. Get off on the New Virginia exit. You'll see the Iowa Fireworks Farm. It's a 6,000 square foot warehouse where you can go in and actually preview a bunch of the products. That'd be a fun way to get excited about the 4th of July coming up. Head down this weekend and then get online, get to therushradio.com, get signed up for that. And then you'll make your second trip down there to pick up The Godfather.
The Godfather. Go to iowafireworksfarm.com to kind of see their selection, get an idea of what you're going to be getting into, which is it's like it'd be like me at Nicolas Cage in Leaving Las Vegas. Remember in Leaving Las Vegas where he just goes to the liquor store and he's just, I'll take this, I'll take this, I'll take this, I'll take this.
Like, I've never seen it.
You've never seen it?
No.
Oh.
Isn't that the one with Elizabeth Shue?
Oh, yeah. Again, would have been a VHS that probably got played quite a bit. I'm just saying. Yeah, Elizabeth Shue had a really nice career, had a nice part in that, had a couple of really good lines. So
that's the second Elizabeth Shue reference, because earlier I pulled out Adventures in Babysitting when we were talking about the video source.
Yes.
She was in The Saint.
Oh, she was gorgeous. Well, first of all, Elizabeth Shue,
gorgeous,
one of the most beautiful actresses of all time. I think a really good actress, but we all fell in love with her at the Karate Kid, right? I mean that's when we fell in love.
Karate Kid.
Yeah, Karate Kid 1. Yeah. Yeah.
That is where I fell in love with Elizabeth Shue.
Absolutely. What other movies did you? Because you mentioned The Saint, that was with Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Leaving Las Vegas, Adventures in Babysitting, Karate Kid. I mean, Elizabeth.
Just in Cocktail.
Oh, I forgot about Cocktail with Tom Cruise.
Apparently, she was in Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon. I don't know what that is.
That's where Kevin Bacon, I believe, became invisible. He was instead of calling it the Invisible Man because that was already taken, I think they
Hollow Man.
They called it Hollow Man.
And then Back to the Futures 1 and 2.
Oh.
Ray said. Ray pointed out Back to the Future, but Back to the Future 1 and 2.
No, she wasn't in 1. That was Leah Thompson. Leah Thompson was in.
Oh, she was only in Back to the Future 2.
2. I think she took Leah Thompson's place.
Yeah. I would have known that. Huh. Cool.
Going down the Elizabeth Shue rabbit hole.
Did you see, real quick rabbit holes, did you see yesterday the news about Brian Wilson passing away?
Yeah, that actually became I didn't grow up a Beach Boys fan. I mean, their music's fine to me. I'm probably agnostic towards the Beach Boys, but there's a couple of Brian Wilson documentaries that I've watched. The guy's a musical genius. I mean, just an absolute musical genius. Eccentric, weird, but yeah, that was he was what, 82 years old?
Something like that.
Were you a Beach Boys fan?
You know me and music, dude. Sure. Yeah, they were good. They had a lot of good songs. They had an innovative thing. Like I was in a ice cream shop the other day, and Good Vibrations was on. What a cool song! It's got a theremin on it. There's really cool music. I'm really glad though that you did say you clarified it. You qualified it with musical genius. I think way too often we a guy like Brian Wilson, for instance, people are like, oh, he was a genius.
No, he was a musical genius.
He was a musical genius. He was a musical genius. Very eccentric guy.
Weird.
Weird's a fair word for Brian Wilson. Yeah, he was odd duck.
But I just think he could hear sounds because he created that Beach Boys sound, right? And I just think when that stuff lives in your head, that just, I mean. Yeah,
but it's not what it is presented as. I mean, it's still show business. The Beach Boys are not the guys that are playing on those albums.
No,
you know that.
Yeah, because you turned me on to that documentary. What was it? Session Players?
Yeah. It's called the it's about the Wall of Sound, which was basically the musicians that did all of that all of that music. So again, I'm not downplaying it. Brian Wilson was a musical genius. But like when people start to prop up the Beach Boys as being these amazing musicians and artists, Wrecking Crew. Thank you, Todd. That's the name of the documentary. It wasn't. That's a you've been sold that.
And by the way, that's to a lot of music in
tons.
A lot of music. Oh, you don't get to play on the album, but you get to play in concert.
Yeah, and again, you're going to do really well playing in concert.
Because when you put it on the album, they want it to be perfect and sound absolutely perfect. And
by the way, the other thing was the Beach Boys were already touring. Brian Wilson's writing music, and so he's sending it back to, was it Phil Spector? Not Phil Spector. Is that who now? Not some other creep.
It might have been Phil Spector.
Was it Phil Spector?
Yeah, it might have been. Again, rabbit holes that we go down in the morning, you just never know what's going to happen.
One quick one we'll tie up here. So I saw this. This is a good clarification for us. This Corey says, Leah Thompson was Marty's mom. Elizabeth Shue was Marty's girlfriend.
Not in the first one.
And because she does not have any credits for the first movie. Yeah, she only has a credit for the second one.
She was not the girlfriend in the first one. I've watched Back to the Future a lot. I would know if Elizabeth Shue was in Back to the Future 1. I would know that.
Big fan of Elizabeth Shue. Glad she got brought up here on a Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, nothing makes my anniversary day better than bringing up Elizabeth Shue.
Well, and you got to talk about Jessica Rabbit again, and that's not every day you get to bring that up. And so I feel like that's
a fair point. Thank you for reminding me that.
Check it off the rundown.
That's right. Speaking of rundown, Bruno's going to be joining us around 7:30. It is a Thirsty Thursday. We'll find out what's going on at the Full Court Press establishments, including El Bait Shop, High Life Lounge, Iowa Tap Room. So Bruno at 7:30. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vents, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
The Royal Mile, where everyone's a wee bit British. The Royal Mile is downtown Des Moines' living room with classic pub favourites. Pair them with a glass of whiskey or an expertly poured Guinness. It's bloody brilliant. The Royal Mile, a proper British pub.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza. The patio is open and ready for you, your friends, and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening this summer at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know. High-quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
So, you're driving along the road and minding your own business when a thought pops into your head.
When's the last time I had my alignment checked?
You know it's important. Poor alignment can impact your tire wear, your grip on the road, and even your gas mileage. But just as your mind starts to ache and the sweat starts to pool around your lower back, you remember, I serviced my car at Willis Cadillac in Clive, Iowa, and they check the alignment for free with the purchase of any service. And the serenity of that thought frees you once again. Give us a call or head online to williscadillac.com to schedule your appointment today.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
The best bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. We're here till 8 o'clock today. As I mentioned, Bruno will be joining us right around 7:30, as he does each and every Thursday for a Thirsty Thursday. We'll find out what's on at the Full Court Press establishments. Last night, the Indiana Pacers beat the Oklahoma City Thunder 116-107. Ross, Tyrese Halliburton, of course, the one we're watching the most, had 22 points, 11 assists, 9 rebounds. Another day at the office for Tyrese, right? 22, 11, and 9. Just another day at the office for Tyrese Halliburton.
That's what it seems like that's kind of what they need. And, they got a bunch of dudes. Pascal Siakam is a guy that can certainly carry the load, but it does seem, Travis, like when Halliburton's playing well, the team plays well. When you see a box score like that from Tyrese, is usually when you see Indiana with a W. So not sure that that's necessarily the correlation, but boy, it feels like that today, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, but it wasn't just Tyrese last night.
No.
It was the bench for the Pacers last night. Benedict Mathurin had 27 points off the bench. In fact, the Pacers had 49 points off the bench, which was a huge boost. It was an entertaining game. It was close until late. But, we talked about it yesterday. Was Game 3 a must-win? Now, you're an analytics guy, right? Analytics always aren't right. Things will beat the odds. But how about this? Let me give you a stat and how important Game 3 is when a series is tied 1-1. The winner of Game 3, when an NBA Finals series is tied at 1-1, wins the NBA championship 80% of the time.
Wow.
80%
Holy cow.
of the time. So you talk about, was it a must-win? Maybe, maybe not. However, when you look at that number, history will tell you that, yeah, it was a must-win. If you want to win
that number's shocking, dude. I would have thought it to be like closer to 65%.
Yeah, 80. They now have an 80% chance of winning
Wow.
the NBA championship.
That's incredible especially for the underdogs they were, Travis, coming into this series.
Not just were, they are. They still
are they still on the series?
Well, I would think so, just because the Thunder are so good. I mean, hell, the Thunder weren't they favored last night?
Yeah, they were. They're 5.5 point favorites last night.
5.5 point favorite. But
Thunder were favored by 5.5 last night. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and again, let's pump the brakes just a little bit when it comes to metrics and analytics. It's not always right, but if you're how many times have you watched Texas Hold'em on ESPN, right? And somebody's got a 98% chance of winning, and it goes away just because the card's dealt. There's no guarantee that the Pacers are going to win this, but sitting at 2-1 with one more game, Friday night in Indianapolis before you have to go back to Oklahoma City, if you can steal one more at home, go up 3-1, you got 3 more games then with one guaranteed to be back in Indianapolis to win this thing.
Kirk says his one of his apps is showing 190 for the Pacers to win the series, plus 190 for the Pacers to win the series still.
So it had to change after last night.
Oh, big time after last night. I mean, dude, remember, and I think it was plus 300 for them to win the series at the beginning of it, or maybe even bigger odds than that. I think it was bigger odds than that. So, yeah, it's changed a lot. So that's FanDuel. Thanks, Kirk. Travis bench plays well last night. McConnell had 5 steals off the bench last night. I think you mentioned that the Pacers scored 49 off the bench.
49 off the bench.
Outscored the Thunder 49-18 off the bench.
Thunder
20 out of Halliburton, 20 out of Siakam.
It's fun, and what I find fun about this is that it's 2 teams that aren't traditionally in the NBA Finals. I mean, we're used to the Celtics, we're used to the Lakers, we're used to the Warriors at this point. But it's also the underdog story. I like the underdog story. Beating Milwaukee, beating Boston. The Cleveland. I mean, there's just the Pacers have gone through the gauntlet. You can't say they haven't gone through the gauntlet to get to where they're at. But that 80% is a shocking number. I was surprised to see that this morning.
So Mathurin had 27 points.
Yep.
He's 22 years old. That makes him the 6th player since the merger of the NBA-ABA in 1976 to score 25 points or more in the finals at age 22 or younger. So he scored more points than his age in an NBA Finals. Here's the other names that did that. Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, Tony Parker, Kobe Bryant, and Magic Johnson.
Pretty good list to be associated with.
They're all Hall of Famers. Kawhi Leonard's a Hall of Famer, right? Isn't he?
I don't think yet. Will he be? I don't know.
I mean, I know he's not in the Hall of Fame right now. I know that. I'm saying he is Kawhi Leonard goes into the Hall of Fame, though, right? Isn't he a multiple-time MVP, multiple-time NBA champion?
Yeah. I don't know what the criteria is for the Basketball Hall of Fame.
It's Hall of Fame, man. That's the criteria. Was he famous? Famous enough to be in the Hall of Fame?
Was he famous? Or is he famous? I mean, hell, it took Jason Kidd till 2018 to get into the Hall of Fame.
That's true. And Kawhi is kind of an awkward duck.
So, but I'm kind of with you. Was he famous? Yes. Is he famous? Yes. Is he a Hall of Famer?
I think he is. But either way, that takes away from what that story is. That's a fantastic list to be a part of. Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant,
LeBron James.
Those guys were good.
I think that's the highest score for a player coming off the bench since like 2015 in an NBA Finals game. I mean, usually it's your superstars, it's your starters, and you get what do you say? 49-17, they outscored the.
I think that's what it was. 49-18, 41-18, something like that. I'll find it again here.
I mean, you get that kind of depth, and that plays a big part. And they played a lot better in Game 3 than they did Game 2. So Pacers up 2-1, in the driver's seat for sure. Game 4 coming up on Friday night. That game will also be in Indianapolis. So we'll be following that one. Ross, I want to know what the hell's up with the Knicks, because I'm trying to get their strategy here. They fired Tom Thibodeau, which was one of the – I mean, everybody was kind of like, okay. That was a weird move.
Yeah.
But usually when you fire somebody at that level, you're kind of – you would think you have a plan, right? You would think you have a plan of what you want to do. Hey, we're going to fire Tom Thibodeau, but we know what we're going to do. We know the person who's going to go to the next level. I'm going to use the WNBA as an example.
Yeah, we talked about this. I think it's a great analogy, Trev.
When Christy Sides got fired after taking the Fever to the playoffs, something they haven't done in a long time, you're like, oh, they're going in the right direction. Indiana said, okay, she's taken us as far as we think she can take us. Stephanie White is probably a coach that can take you to a championship level. And they knew they were going to go after Stephanie White when they fired Christy Sides. That was all kind of a done deal. So you think the Knicks, who get to the Eastern Conference Finals, go, okay, we know who we want, who's going to be able to take us to a championship level, would have a plan. Their plan apparently was to talk to every coach in the NBA and only be denied by every team who they want to get permission from. They've been denied by Minnesota. They've been denied by Houston. They've been denied by Dallas. They've been denied by Atlanta. And now they've been denied by Chicago. So they went after Udoka in Minneapolis. They said, yeah, we're not going to give you our head coach. They go after the Houston coach. They're like, yeah, we're not going to give you permission to talk to him. Jason Kidd is thrown out there, and Dallas says, well, we're not going to give you Jason Kidd.
Tom Thibodeau's not the answer. We got to get rid of Tom Thibodeau. That guy can't get us to the next level. You know who the guy is?
It's Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd.
They asked to speak to Quinn Snyder in Atlanta. They go, we're not going to give you permission. And then they go after Billy Donovan in Chicago, who has not won in Chicago, had good success with the Oklahoma City Thunder, but he hasn't been putting up the same numbers in Chicago. And the Bulls say, we're not going to give you permission. So now the Knicks seem to be going after active head coaches, which is an odd move, and are just looking dumber and dumber as this thing goes along. Have a plan.
All right, so what's that tell us, Travis? If they fired him without a plan,
it tells me it's a bad organization.
Well, I think it says some other things too. Maybe let's just think about this out loud for a minute, because we don't know what's happening behind the scenes. But man, this I think I'm falling into confirmation bias is what it's called.
Okay.
I had a thought about Tom Thibodeau when this thing went off, and now this seems to fall in line with what I was thinking and reaffirming some of the things I was thinking, which are Tom Thibodeau is a dude that's hard to work for and with. He gets a couple of years at a place and he's gone. We thought this same thing in Minnesota. Thought the same, like every place he's gone, it's been this same sort of. I wanted to believe when you said, Travis, the thing about making the WNBA comparisons about some guys are built for certain jobs and some people are built for other jobs. You got to hand off the baton and that, but it's like, well, if you knew who the closers were, those guys would be stacked up with championships. If there were really this category of guys, it's like, all right, Tom Thibodeau gets us to here, and then we go Jason Kidd. Well, Jason Kidd must have all the rings then, right? If you're talking Phil Jackson, Eric Spoelstra, you know what I mean? Like guys with multiple
Pat
Riley, guys that have rings on several fingers, I'd go, I see what you're talking about here. Am I wrong? Am I missing something? Am I misremembering Jason Kidd? And I'm not trying to knock on Jason Kidd. This is not what that is. He's a fantastic basketball coach. Fantastic. Let's stick to Tom Thibodeau on this, because my thought was Tom Thibodeau is a tough guy to work with. Tom Thibodeau burns his bridges. That's my thought on it, because I've been around people like that. where they show up. They've got a great resume. They've worked for all the places for 3 years. Why didn't I worked at one place for 20? Why were you there for 3 years? What happened? And after 3 years, you look around and go, I see why this dude lasted 3 years. And I think that's Tom Thibodeau. And so this tells me that the Knicks were so ready to be not Team Thibodeau that they kicked him out before even having a plan in place. I mean, dude, again, when you get fired and you take a week and you see how things settle, that's when you know if they had a plan in place or not. You go, oh, okay, I see. They had a plan in place because these pieces all settled very quickly behind me. Tom Thibodeau knows today they didn't have a plan. They weren't contacting teams before they let me go. Because otherwise they would have waited. I mean, they'd have waited. That's my thought on it. Again, it's confirmation bias. I've got this new piece of information that falls in line with what my preconceived notions were. And so now I'm going to run with that in my brain and go, oh, yeah, Tom Thibodeau must be really hard to work with. The guy seems like a great guy. Did you see he put an ad out? How many people get fired and put out the thank you ad? Most guys, it's like, hey, I took a better job, but I want to thank all of you folks for being my stepping stone. You know what I mean? He put out an ad in, hold on, I want to get it for you here so I don't screw this up.
Was it the New York Times, New York Post?
He put it in New York Times on Wednesday. Wednesday. Did you hear me say Wednesday?
Where did that come from? That
I don't
wasn't
know.
Southern.
Am I having a stroke? Do I look okay?
I don't think so. I think that wasn't even Wisconsin, right? I mean,
No, Wednesday? Who says Wednesday?
Wednesday.
The hell. Former New York Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau took out a full-page advertisement in the New York Times on Wednesday. A full-page ad in the New York Times.
You know how much that cost?
What is it? 10 grand?
Oh, I bet it's more than that.
Way more than that?
Yeah, I bet it's more than that.
Thanking his players, coaches, and the team's fans. Oh, yeah. I guess the New York Times. Yeah. The black and white ad, which features a photo of Thibodeau standing at the sideline of Madison Square Garden, looking down at the clipboard, begins to the best city in the world and the best fans in the world. Thank you. Now, okay, that's pandering. And clip that because his next job when he's coaching in, Charlotte.
But here's the deal. What does that ad do? It makes the ownership group look even worse, right? Because they have not been able to move on. They've struck out with everybody they've contacted. And Tom Thibodeau just kind of strategically on Wednesday says, oh, I'll take out a full-page ad. And it makes the ownership group look even worse because now they're going, boy, this guy liked us. This guy liked his players.
Dude, and this article does go on to talk about how he cheered for them as a child. This was truly a case of a dream job. And to the fans, thank you for believing me and embracing me from day one. Watching you support our team and seeing the Garden ignite with that incomparable Knicks energy is something I will never forget. Under Thibodeau, 67 years old, the fourth winningest coach in franchise history, New York notched back-to-back 50-win seasons for the first time since 93-94, 94-95. The third-seed Knicks surprisingly knocked off the defending champion Boston Celtics in the conference semifinals this postseason, then lost to the rival Indiana Pacers in their first finals appearance in 25 years. So, yeah, you better get somebody that can get you to that next level. I don't get it, man. I can't. He seems like the guy. He's having success, loves the job. Players love him. Fans love him. Management obviously doesn't.
It's weird. And now your management just you have a dart, you're throwing a dartboard and go, okay, who can we talk to? Do we want to retread? No, that's not going to get the fans fired up.
Did you mention Jay Wright in your?
I didn't mention Jay Wright, who's of course a broadcaster for CBS now. Who I don't even know. He apparently is not a. I think it was Seth Davis who put it out the other day. That says Jay Wright's is not a contender for the job. Doesn't want it. Why would you? Right? You won a couple national titles. You don't have to deal. I mean, you got out because you didn't want to pay players in the first place and go through that whole thing. The professional game is completely different. And then you go kind of like the Bill Cowher. They're paying me a lot of money to do television for a couple months out of the year. Otherwise, I could just sit back, go raise money for Villanova, do my speaking gigs, charge $25,000, $30,000, have them fly me there. Why do I want the stress? No, I get the competitive nature of it. Coaches are competitive just like athletes are. They are. That's what drives them. But you do reach a point where you're like, I'm at a pretty good age. I think I'm going to just take Easy Street. So, and Jay Wright, I think, would have got Knicks fans fired up just because.
Oh, well, and I mean, dude, they have Brunson, Bridges, and Hart on who all won national titles with him at Villanova. Yes, I think that's the other part of this, dude. You've raised the expectation for what success is going to look like. You've got to make a splash now. They're right in going after the coach, the Jason Kidds of the world. They're right in going at. They have to go after the biggest names in basketball. Man, why'd they fire him? Why'd they fire him? They paid him $30 million to walk away. Why? Guess.
Either the two things. If he ended up, you don't like his management style, maybe a little too demanding, but if he wins a championship or gets to the finals, you can never get rid of him, or you're going to have to wait a while.
Oh, wow, Trav. That's that management brain in you. That's that management brain. We don't want this guy here for 5 years. Okay? Okay, so there's one possibility. And is the other one truly as simple as they made the mistake of thinking, all right, he's reached his ceiling.
Yes.
And we've got to find the guy.
Yes. He was good enough to take us here, but he can't get us here. Talk to anybody who's won a championship, whether that's in golf, football, basketball. There's a lot of luck that goes into it.
The chips have to fall, man.
The chips have to fall. The best team doesn't always win. We're talking a tournament. I mean, Rick Carlisle has called the Oklahoma City Thunder the best basketball team on the planet. If the Pacers win this, does that change the fact that the Thunder are the best basketball team on the planet? Maybe over the course of a season they were, but you get into a tournament and things can happen. We see it in the NCAA basketball tournament all the time. A lot of things have to happen. Winning a championship is not easy.
Jay Wright's seen it happen.
But
man,
But if Jay Wright were to take that job, do unrealistic expectations come with that? And I shouldn't say unrealistic.
Dude, no matter who takes it, unrealistic expectations are going to come with it. Now, I do think you're onto something about like if it's Jason Kidd, it's up here. If it's Jay Wright, the expectation is going to be win a world championship.
But what I mean by Jay Wright is, you've got your Villanova players. You won with Villanova players. Therefore, you're going to win an NBA. It doesn't work that way. I mean, how many times did you were at iHeart and Clear Channel for 20 years? How many times did you see somebody get fired just because they didn't like them and they didn't have a plan?
Yeah, not very often. Not very often did they fire somebody on a whim. Happened a couple of times. I would say the time that when Maxwell and Amy were let go, that was one of those like, what the? I don't think that. I think that was something happened there. My gut says that was like, bang, we're getting rid of these people today because they didn't have. That was a scramble. When the Marty Terrell thing happened. And they fired Jeff Kahn, Larry Kotler, and Marty. That was a situation where they didn't have time to plan. It was all right, throwing on Fox Sports for a period of time until we can shuffle the deck. But most of the time, they had a plan in place.
You know, when they fired you, I don't think they had a plan. The plan was,
oh yeah, they did. Oh yeah, they did. Oh yeah, they did.
Do you think the plan was just to have me do the show for forever?
No. The plan was to have Sean take Justin and I's job. That's why they fired Justin on Friday. They knew before they fired me that Sean was going to be taking Justin and I's positions. I absolutely believe that.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Otherwise, there would have been more of a scramble.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have been, and you wouldn't have fired Justin, who wasn't making much and was doing a ton of jobs.
Yeah.
Firing me makes sense. I was making good money and not doing much. I'd shed most of my responsibilities in the production department.
Which you should have. You weren't getting paid for that.
Right, exactly. So I was hosting a show and getting pretty good money because I'd been there a while. So that made sense for them to fire me. Totally. Justin's the one that I was like, what the kid doesn't make any money. He does all the jobs and he's really good. This is who you build around. What's going on? That makes sense. This thing, if you don't have a plan, it turns then if you negotiate before you make the move, you have all the negotiating power. If you fire somebody, like in this situation, had they reached out to teams beforehand and said, "Hey, we're thinking about making a move," what would it take for you to coach the New York Knicks? You've got power there. You don't have to make a move. You don't have to sign a contract. You can say, and I mean, as the team, as the New York Knicks, you have a little bit of negotiating power there. Once you fire Tom Thibodeau, and now you call Jason Kidd and you go, "Hey, what's it going to take for you to be the New York Knicks coach?" All of the power is in the other guy's court.
But see, Jason Kidd wouldn't have power there because you have to ask for permission.
What I'm saying is, and I'm just using him. I'm just using him as the name. That whoever that guy is, that they finally reach out to and say, "Hey, we want you to be the next coach." That person has the power. That's why you negotiate with the person before you fire the guy. Does that, you see what I'm saying? If you fire, let's use me as the example. This is why I think this went down this way. You fire me, you fire Justin, and now you call a guy and you go, "Hey man, I need you to change your life. I need you to start getting up early in the morning. I need you to take on more responsibilities. That guy's going to go, "I need something back," right? But if you do it before you fire the guy, if you say, "Hey man, I got a really fun opportunity for you. I got a way for you to advance your career." Right? Yeah. I fell for it. I fell for that conversation.
I think we all have it sometime.
We've all fallen for that conversation, right? So that's why I'm wondering what made them pull the trigger on Tibbs, because they didn't have a plan in place. They've lost all the negotiating power. They have to know this stuff. I'm a DMAC dropout and I know this stuff. They've got somebody in that office that said, "Hey, wait a minute. Before we pull the trigger on this, let's move some chess pieces around. Are we sure?" And they decided this is worth it. We are so anti-Tom Thibodeau. We're going to give him $30 million to not coach our team, who took us to the conference finals. We're going to pay him $30 million to walk away, and we don't even know who the next guy is. And we're going to give away, by doing so, we're going to give away most of our negotiating power. Am I?
With every guy that they're denied, the negotiating power gets stronger and stronger because you need a coach, and this guy knows he's sixth choice at this point. Seventh
exactly
choice?
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
How bad do you really want me?
You're desperate now.
And if you're going to do this, I'm going to have a buyout like there's no tomorrow. If you think Tibbs' $30 million is a lot,
all of the negotiating power is in the hands of the potential employee now.
And that's a good place to be if you're an employee.
Great place to be. Horrible place to be if you're the New York Knicks. So why didn't that? That's why I keep going back to this. Like, is Tom Thibodeau that insufferable as a coworker, as an employee? That's the most important. Not coworker. people around him seem to love him. The bosses don't. The bosses don't.
Maybe sometimes bosses don't like head coaches actually being the face of the organization.
But I don't think that's Tibbs, man. He's not a Pat Riley. He's not a Phil
true.
Jackson. Like, he's not a, Popovich, I'd say, is a coach that at times, even with superstars, Greg Popovich has been the face of the Spurs at times.
And that's because he's won multiple championships, right? I mean, he earned that right. And look at the guys you just talked about. Pat Riley, Phil Jackson. You're talking, I mean, let's use Bill Belichick at North Carolina. Why is he so popular? It's because when you win that many championships, you earn that kind of respect. We are at the top of the hour. We got to take a break. We'll come back. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby. You got me falling hard for you. And still, I felt this way before. You know it's true. And still, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vent, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
Hi, I'm Josh Romick, Service Manager at Willis Lexus, and I wanted to share our Lexus Summer Signature event. Now through July 6th, you can get $100 off a set of 4 tires, $65 off genuine Lexus battery, $25 off a set of brake pads, and $10 off Lexus genuine wiper blades. The school year is coming to an end, which means summer is right around the corner, and so are the deals at Willis Lexus. Visit us online at willislexus.com or give us a call to schedule your appointment. Thank you and have a great summer.
Largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know, high quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. Happy Thursday, everybody. You're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com or on the Rush Radio app on your Android device. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're working on a solution, you Apple listeners. We may have found it. News to come maybe next week. You can follow us if you're watching on YouTube. Just like this video, subscribe to our channel, start leaving your comments in the comment section, and follow us on X at Rush Mornings, like our Facebook page, The Rush with Travis and Ross, and follow us on Instagram, The Rush Radio Show. Yeah, I had you dancing there. I like it when you're dancing.
I like the music. Music usually makes me move.
You know, I didn't have that on day one, and I went and found where I got that song, and I got it in here for.
I liked the music. I liked the music you had that day you were on remote. That was a fun one too.
Yeah,
kick ass.
I played that earlier, but yeah. So you know when. And knock on wood, the Starlink is working pretty well today. So in July, Ross is going to be taking the Starlink and going remote in Canada.
I literally have laid in bed at night the last couple of nights, like imagining what that's going to look like. I cannot wait to share that with everyone. It's my favorite place in the world. It is incredibly beautiful. I can't describe how awesome it is. It's one of those things where even when I look at pictures, I go, it doesn't do it justice. It doesn't do it justice. You have to be there and experience it and hear it and feel it. And I get to I am so excited to be able to do this from either the picnic table on the beach or from the lodge, looking out as the sun comes up over the Lake of the Woods.
You know, this isn't my favorite place in the world, and I don't mean, but it's one of my favorite places. And Anjanette and I were sitting here last night, and I would say pictures don't do this justice either. But, you know, I'm sitting here going, you know, we're not in the mountains, but if you lived here, you would feel like you were in the mountains because we have the buttes and kind of we're at the lower end of the Black Hills, and you're like, this is just very. There's no humidity here, which is nice. And on my hike, I sent you a picture yesterday. Did you see the bighorn sheep that I sent you yesterday? That was 20 feet away from me.
I was with some people. I was at Eli's baseball game, and I was with my buddy Jeff, and I was like, Jeff, check this out. Check out Travis. He's like, they have bighorn sheep in Nebraska? I'm like, oh, it's pretty close to Wyoming.
Yes. And I don't think I've ever seen a bighorn sheep before. I come around the corner on my hike. I'm like, oh, that's a bighorn sheep.
He was looking right at. He saw you.
Oh yeah, and there was two others too. And I'm like, oh my God, don't charge me.
I don't know if you know this. Anjanette sent me some of your videos.
Oh, so that's our little nephew. He's probably, I think he's 10, 11 years old. He's flying his drone around here.
He made a 10-year-old made that?
Yes.
Travis, I truly thought you had done that.
No, that was St. John who's been flying his drone around and made that video and sent it to all the family members.
I almost replied to Anjanette and said, "Hey, if Travis can do stuff like this, I need him to come do real estate stuff for me. Like, I need St. John to do. I need a 10-year-old to do." Folks, here's what it was. So I get a video from Anjanette. I got two videos actually. And there's this really cool music playing. It's a drone flying over a pickleball court and people playing pickleball. And then it cuts to this beautiful open pasture. And there's a kid riding a bike through the pasture and the drone kind of follows him through the pasture. And then it cuts to the like an overview of the house and the drone kind of swoops in on this beautiful house that they're all in. I literally thought to myself, man, Travis just can't get enough. He's out there working. He's using his work skills of cutting videos and doing all that stuff for the family during vacation. And this is a priceless memory. Again, back to the cassette tape and the reel-to-reel thing. That's the stuff in 50 years are going to be like, oh, check out this video. I thought you did that with 30 years of experience. A 10-year-old did that.
Yeah, I think he's 12 now. I might have gotten his age wrong. He might be 12.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that explains it.
That explains it. Yeah, so...
Impressive. Tell him very impressed.
And I'll say, hey, St. John, I can get some money for you on the side. Ross is going to pay you $5 to come to Des Moines and
yes,
and shoot drone video of houses because he's taking his marketing to a completely different level.
Love it. Yeah, no, that was really cool. That's super duper impressive, man. I thought that was you.
You know, we've talked about AI on here a lot lately and how we brought it up yesterday and how AI videos are becoming so not even recognizable. Like they're almost perfect. Ross, I thought I was AI'd yesterday, and I wasn't. And I don't know if you've seen this. Did you see the Pope wearing the Sox hat?
I'll be honest, I did the exact same thing you did. Thank you. Like, that's actually bad Photoshop.
Yes. I'm like, okay.
We're screwed, dude. We look at real pictures and think they're fake, and fake pictures and think they're real. We're toast.
So for the general audience, I'm like, that's not real. Then all of a sudden, Yahoo Sports, the White Sox, everybody, I'm like, that photo's real. For the general audience, the Pope came out and wore a White Sox hat. being a Catholic, I was like, wow. Being an American Catholic with an American Pope, you're like, this guy's connecting.
And I did see a lot of people like, yeah, baseball's a global game now. That people, because my first thought was like, how many people are looking at this going, what the hell is that? But this is what popes do. You bring a little bit of your culture to this. I mean, you don't, you're the Pope. You conform. But you get to sprinkle this stuff from your past and your culture into it too. And yeah, I think this is really cool. I did the exact same thing you did. I saw that picture and I thought it was bad Photoshop. It doesn't even look. It's like the hat's like.
Yeah, it was like the light was just perfect. So it had this. It gave it this really weird, like it was badly photoshopped, and you're like, that's too perfect. He's wearing that hat too perfect. And
did you by chance see any of the Bigfoot or Yeti AI stuff that I was talking about yet? I know. Oh, you haven't been online a lot. Good for you. Good for you.
Just to let you know, since the Pope has taken over, since he was elected, the White Sox are 13-16. Before his election, they were 10-28.
Look at the White Sox.
They've got divine intervention. They've got the Pope on their side.
If only he were a Rockies fan.
And an open invitation to throw out the first pitch. Do you think he ever throws out the first pitch at the park?
Can you imagine the Pope mobile rolling out to? No.
I'm with you. I don't think it happens.
I mean, does the Pope do those big Does the Pope do like those big, massive outdoor masses anymore?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, really? Really? Okay.
Pope,
I really did think that was too dangerous.
Popes have done masses. I don't know the last one that's taken place in a baseball stadium, but they have been done. But here's the deal. Throwing out the first pitch for the Pope would be very difficult because the Pope has to be in full vestments all the time. It's not like, he can become Robert Provost at that time or Prevost and walk out in something different. He's got to be in the white vestments all the time. So if he came out to throw the first pitch, he would have to come out as the Pope. And so I don't think you could go from the mound with full vestments. That would be a sight to see, but I think it would be hard to get it all the way to home plate. Just saying.
That would be funny to see. That would be fun. Can we rabbit hole?
Yeah, absolutely we can rabbit hole.
It's funny to see. Did you see the lawnmowers at Oakmont go viral?
I did see this yesterday, and I'm like, they all have like push mowers, right? And they're like in a straight line.
Dude, they look like 1985 push mowers. Obviously they're not, but that's what it looks like. They're like 21-inch decks. And it's an army of dudes with push mowers that are cutting the grass at Oakmont Country Club in Pennsylvania for the U.S. Open. It is a funny sight. Like, dude, one of the photos is like the guy in a bunker. They're all around a bunker, and one of the guys like in the bunker mowing the side of the.
What's your job? I mow at Oakmont.
I'm one of the 743 mowers at Oakmont. I'm part of the mow army. So anyway, I told you guys that the Oakmont, that's going to be the story of this golf tournament the next couple of days. Is the greens are unbelievable, apparently. I saw that. Oh, I'm sorry. Because I was
going to bring up Oakmont because Scotty Scheffler, you mentioned to me before the show started.
There's one of my rabbit holes.
Yeah. Scotty Scheffler, who you'll watch at the U.S. Open, got rid of Venmo, and I'm like, Venmo's become basically a part of life just because, hey, send me money. Okay, I'll send you some money. It's an easy way to pay somebody. It's an easy way to donate. Venmo's a nice little app, but Scotty Scheffler no longer has Venmo, right?
This is wild, dude. Like, part of this story is like, darn, we take this stuff too serious. And part of this story is just like, what? All right. This is from CNN. Being the strong favorite to win a golf tournament isn't always an easy responsibility to bear. Just ask Scotty Scheffler, who has revealed that he has been forced to close his Venmo account because of bettors staking money on his performance. Ahead of this week's U.S. Open at Pennsylvania's Oakmont Country Club, where Scotty Scheffler is a strong favorite, the world number one explained how he often hears from fans who have a financial interest in where he finishes at tournaments. This is where it gets both weird and creepy. Quote, "That's why I had to get rid of my Venmo, because I was either getting paid by people or people requesting me a bunch of money when I didn't win. It wasn't a good feeling." So bettors that won would
tip him.
Send Scotty Scheffler a tip.
Hey, man,
like he's
here's your
the
10%.
like he's the dealer at the blackjack table. That's a thing? Scotty Scheffler gets paid bajillions of dollars, and bettors are sending him sending him money on Venmo?
It's the right thing to do, right? I'm joking there. You know that. Yeah. It's okay to tip the blackjack dealer. That's fine. They work for tips as well. But because somebody wins, you don't Venmo the, "Hey, Scotty, good job." Now, if you lose next week, I expect you to send that money back.
Is that what it is? Are you doing that thinking, "Oh, Trav"? Is that what those guys are thinking? Is that like, "Hey, if I send him some money and then when I request it, he'll just send back"? No way.
I hope that's not the case. I really hope that's not the case.
I was either getting paid by people or people requesting me a bunch of money when I didn't win. It wasn't a good feeling. Asked about the biggest sum he had ever been sent as a thank you, Scheffler added, "I don't remember the most that anybody would send me, maybe a couple bucks here or there. That didn't happen nearly as much as the requests did." So that at least checks.
Now, on Venmo, you can return the money, right? You can not. You can say, "Hey, I don't accept this." I believe that is. You can say,
I see what you're saying. Yeah. If somebody sends you money, you can say, "No, thank you."
Do you ever have what's going through somebody's mind? "Hey, I'm going to send Scotty a couple bucks. Here's $20. He just won $5 million at a golf tournament, but you're going to send him $20 to say thank you? He doesn't need your $20. And if you bet on him and he lost, he's not going to give you.
What's wrong with us?
So think about it. That's Scotty Scheffler. How much has that happened to college football players, college basketball players?
Oh, wow.
And that's a good point from dude from Iowa. Is his Venmo public? You don't have to.
I'm guessing so. I mean, if he said he got rid of Venmo because of this, I'm just reading the story. I don't know. I guess I didn't think about that. You can make your Venmo harder to find, or
yeah, you can make it private. I mean,
I don't know. I'm just reading the story from CNN. Fake news. You're fake news.
You know, the NCAA cracks me up. Ross, do you even care about the Michigan sign stealing thing anymore?
I mean, sure. It may be at like a 1% level. It's interesting to me. I'd say that. It's interesting to me. Do I care about it like I want the book to be thrown at Michigan? No.
And that's where I'm coming from. So the NCAA has informed Michigan that within the next 30 to 90 days, the disciplinary action for the sign stealing scandal will be announced. The problem with the NCAA, and this has always been the problem with the NCAA, that this discipline takes too long. We're 2 years removed from this, and now you're going to punish Michigan for sign stealing? I mean, what are we doing here? This is why teams got smart. They played the long game. Look at Bill Self in the Adidas scandal. The dude comes pretty much off unscathed because it was 5 years later. Nobody cared. Nobody gave a shit about any of it.
This is what the NCAA does. This is yes, duh. This is what the NCAA does. This is so ridiculous. And all of the people that will be punished, I shouldn't say all, because there are a few remaining parts left over from that Michigan team, but not many.
The
And
head
not the
coach
people
who suspended 2 games, and the
Yeah,
random
right.
games, going to coach the first 2 games, sit out one. Coach the first game against Oklahoma, sit out one, and then it's
whatever,
weird.
however
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
ridiculous. Like everybody knew, dude from Iowa says, "Hey, sign stealing is just a part of sports." This one was a little bit different because they were the process here. The allegation is that they were sending him out to games beforehand and using a video camera to record the coaches and then go back and cross-reference that with the plays. And then that's how they were going. It was an elaborate sign stealing scandal that was using a lot of different things that they weren't supposed to be using. So it is a bit different than just like being able to see a catcher's sign under his legs. But Travis, all the pieces that are responsible are gone. Harbaugh's gone. The guy that came up with the system to do it and had the skills to do it, he's gone. You're going, and this is the NCAA. We're going to punish the laundry 5 years later.
Which could be
incredible.
Fines. Okay, you're going to fine somebody. You could take away scholarships. Oh,
sure.
You're gonna do that now in the day and age of 105. You could, my favorite, vacate wins.
Yeah.
You're gonna they didn't happen. So Michigan could be like the first school to have a Final Four banner taken down and a national championship banner taken down. Or you could ban them from the postseason.
Well, good news is that was the first game that I took Eli to. We sat in the front row of the Iowa-Michigan game that year. Sat in Bill Blank's seats in the front row. So now I can tell, if they do that, I can tell Eli we didn't see Iowa get their ass kicked that day. Good.
Matter of fact, apparently you didn't even see him play if they vacate wins.
Yeah, we did. What we saw, it was like Hollow Man.
Just wasn't there. We watched the game on AI. They were holograms out there playing.
Yeah. Buddy, remember in Field of Dreams how some of the people can't see the players? Well, now you're one of those people. Just got to pretend that we didn't see anybody out there kicking Iowa's ass.
And when this new day and age of discipline happens with NIL, which all the conference commissioners said, we're going to honor what the new CEO of college sports, we're going to honor those disciplinary actions. And if you haven't listened to our interview with Brad Heinrichs, you really need to, because we didn't know this. Brad let us know, was that Tuesday? Yeah, it was Tuesday.
Yeah.
That the language has changed. They and they did it quietly, right? Because originally it was fair market value for players. Fair market value. Well, fair market value is no longer in the settlement. It is, I forget what he said, but it's just like reasonable or fair. I mean, it's not fair market value, because you realize nobody can put a market value on anybody. If somebody's willing to pay you something, that's what you're worth. So it's basically set up to say yes to everything. So why have this system? Is this just feel-good legislation?
Yeah. No. It's not just feel-good legislation. But you're close to it there. Did you see the lawsuit coming up with Title IX?
Oh, no.
Let me see if I can find the details on this, because I just saw this one floating around yesterday. See what we can find.
Well, this doesn't surprise me, because when you talk revenue share, and most schools are anticipated to put 90% of the revenue share towards football, it doesn't surprise me that somebody wants to sue over Title IX. I don't think, well, personal opinion is, don't slap the hand that feeds you. Do not slap the hand that feeds you, because at the end of the day, football feeds everything, especially in the I was going to say Pac-10. In the Big Ten, in the SEC, Big 12, ACC, football feeds the beast.
All right, so this is it's not a lawsuit. I apologize. This is an appeal. A group of women athletes have filed an appeal of the House versus NCAA settlement approval. A group of 8 women filed an appeal on the House versus NCAA settlement approval on Wednesday. I got it out that time, arguing that it violates the Title IX gender equity statute. Front Office Sports has learned the appeal only challenged the back damages portion of the settlement. So remember, the settlement said they could go that previous athletes were going to be entitled to something, depending on how many of them, right?
Yep.
They're apparently challenging that part of it. The first appeal of the landmark settlement, which offered $2.8 billion in back damages to athletes who couldn't earn NIL. Oh, boy, it just jumped around on me here. Sorry. Before 2021, as well as allow schools to share revenue with players for the first time. The settlement was approved Friday night by Judge Claudia Wilkin after a months-long adjudication process, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so here we go. Where the Title IX lawsuits are going to start coming. This is, again, Rostradamus. I told you, a lot of people predicted this. I do believe that we are all going to have a reckoning on what Title IX was, how we misunderstood it for years. The NCAA either intentionally or unintentionally misinterpreted this thing, misapplied it, and attorneys are gonna dice it up here pretty soon.
Well, I think it's part of a wider scheme, and that is, I think conference commissioners, maybe even athletic directors, go, "Oh, okay, we're just going to separate. We're going to take football, and we're going to take our ball, and we're going to separate from athletic departments and just run our own organizations. Basically, become professional teams, which they are now, but not have to share anything. Football, and we've said this ad nauseum on this show. Football feeds the beast. It funds everything else that takes place. And it's hard to tell somebody you're not entitled to anything. You're entitled to what you're worth. Football is worth more than men's basketball. Men's basketball is worth more than women's basketball. Women's basketball is worth more than field hockey. And it trickles down. This is where the elimination of sports starts coming in. And just wait for the NCAA to say, guess what? You don't need 15 sports anymore. You don't. As soon as that happens, the chopping block is on. The chopping block is on.
I mean, honestly, Travis, I hate to put it this way, but maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe
like
having
Brian Hart said on Monday is that just go to the club sport model.
Because you might trim some fat that way. You wouldn't have, again, the coaches' salaries are the bubble that has to burst.
And that's never going to burst.
And I think that the first thing that happens on that bubble is those Olympic coaches are just gone. We don't have to carry these sports anymore. We're not gonna. We're now a club sport. That means that we can't pay you that amount of money. I've got so many fun rabbit holes I wanted to get through today, and Bruno's about to join us. Can I at least share one fun one with you, because I think this one's pretty cool.
Okay.
The 400 meters is that's a big event. That's a sprint now, and at the high school level, you get some kids that can really, really run at the 400 meters. California is one of the best high school track states in America. A sophomore in California wins the 400 meter race. Okay.
Is this the fire extinguisher story?
Yeah. Did you see this, Trav?
I actually, we didn't get to it last week. I actually had it written down, and this girl got screwed, I think.
Girl's name is Clara Adams from North Salinas High School. She's a sophomore. She wins the 400 meter state final, crosses the finish line, goes over to her coach, who hands her a fire extinguisher And just like she saw in the Olympics when, what was the guy's name that did that, Trav? Do you remember?
I forget.
She was doing this in homage to an Olympic athlete that did this exact same thing. Darn it, I'm blowing this.
It's basically she's trying to put the fire out on her feet because she's so fast.
Yeah. So she sprays the fire extinguisher on her feet. Sophomore in high school. California does what California does. They disqualified her.
And not only disqualified her from winning the state title, they disqualified her from the meet, so she wasn't allowed to run in the 200. They said that's unsportsmanlike. Therefore, you don't win a state championship, and you don't get to compete in more events.
Maurice Green, by the way, was the Olympian who did it during the Olympics. Yeah, and so her family's now suing. Did you see this, Travis?
Good. Good.
Yeah, her family's now suing California and the California Interscholastic Federation for disqualifying their daughter for this celebration after she won a state title as a sophomore. She won one of the most competitive races in one of the most competitive states. She is a potential superstar in the track and field world.
Over a fire extinguisher.
They disqualify her.
Now, you could say it's unsportsmanlike, but you pull her aside and say, hey, don't do that again.
Yeah, which I think that's the way to go about it.
Yeah.
First of all, congratulations.
Second of all, don't do that again.
Second of all, hey, come on. Here's the good news. The next 2 years, when you win the state title and you're a 3-time state champion, nobody's going to remember. They'll say, look at how much she's grown up.
Hey, before we take a break, I want to remind you about the Iowa Fireworks Farm. When you're looking for your fireworks for the 4th of July celebration, go to the Iowa Fireworks Farm because they've got a bumper crop of fireworks, boomers rather, at dirt cheap prices.
Bumper crop of boomers, baby.
Boom.
Just 25 minutes
Boom.
south of the metro. You go down I-35, get off on that new Virginia exit. You'll be right there. A 6,000 square foot facility with where you can preview a lot of the stuff. And like that to me is the awesome thing about this, because that has been a disappointing to me in the past. Travis, you go buy, a $50 cake or something and you light the fuse and it goes off for 4 seconds and you go, darn, I wanted something more than that. Now your expectation is going to be exactly what you get. And that's really cool. And we're giving away some really cool stuff with the Iowa Fireworks Farm.
We are. We're giving away a weekly $50 gift certificate to the Iowa Fireworks Farm. And, of course, we're doing the grand prize, which is a $700 mega pack called The Godfather. That will give you an ultimate finale that will light up any party. So go to therushradio.com, go to the promotions tab, and then fill out the little form there, which includes your name, your email address, and your telephone number, and you'll be registered to win The Godfather and our weekly $50 gift certificate. It is. And also go to the IowaFireworksFarm.com for even more on what you can purchase at the Iowa Fireworks Farm. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's 25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
Don't you hate when you're on a road trip and you want to stop somewhere to get something to eat, but you need to take a look at the menu first? Here at Willis Nissan, we decided to implement some menus to make servicing your car easier and more efficient. Our menu offers good, better, and best packages based off of your mileage of your vehicle. And we're offering 10% off the entire menu for the month of June if you mention this ad. Feel free to make an appointment at willisnissan.com or walk on in and make sure that your car is ready for the road trips that you're going on this summer.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal?
You know, the kind Mom used to make. Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the champagne of bars.
Looking for the perfect golf escape? Experience links-style golf right here in Ames at Coldwater Golf Links. With rolling fairways, large greens, and unique routing, it's golf the way it's meant to be played. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, you'll love our course's welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. Grab your clubs, book a tee time, and make every round unforgettable. Coldwater Golf Links, where great golf leads to great memories. Visit coldwatergolf.com to book your round today.
Hi, I'm Sean McFarland, Service Manager at Mini of Des Moines. School is out and summer is here. Before you hit the road for your motoring adventures, visit us for your oil changes, get your AC checked out, or make sure your tires are roadworthy. Give us a call to schedule or visit us online at miniofdesmoines.com.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Happy Thursday. Thursday means Bruno joins us. I don't see his camera, though. I see Bruno.
He was there.
He was there, and now his camera's, like, gone. Huh. Is he having...
There.
Oh, there he is. There he is. You had us freak out a little bit there, Bruno. Where'd you disappear to?
I don't really know. I moved my camera for a second, or my computer for a second, and we disengaged.
Yeah, see, I've learned just don't touch anything. Once it's set up, don't touch anything.
Well, I got excited because I heard get your boomers, and I'm like, oh my God, where can you get boomers?
Been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, not really, but yeah. I didn't have any this morning on my. I didn't mix any with my eggs this morning. Did we lose Travis?
No. Well, I think that some of this is over his head.
Was a strip club, wasn't it?
Bloomers was a place in Carroll next to Ozzy's. But
Bloomers was that a strip club or just a place?
No, it was a sports bar in Carroll, Iowa.
But Travis, you said there was a strip club named Boomers, like in the Metro?
Well, maybe it wasn't in the Metro. Maybe it was over by my neck of the woods, where we had a strip club called Boomers, and they had a yearly golf tournament, and everybody wanted to be in the Boomers golf tournament because
they wanted to get a hole in one.
Well, you had the opportunity. Let's just say that. You had the opportunity, all right?
Well, yeah. In the green room of the golf course.
Ozzy's was the strip club in Carroll, Mick says?
Yeah.
Man, Mick knows about Carroll. How do so many people, what is the deal with Carroll, man? There's so many people.
Go on down to Ray Gun and buy your Carroll People Were Everywhere shirt if you'd like. That's
it's
one
wild.
of the things they have, yeah. Well, it's a strange combination of German, Irish, love to drink copious amounts of alcohol and have a dozen kids at a time. The town has only been at 10,000. It stays at 10,000 for 5 decades. So those kids are going somewhere. So we're out here in the
you're in Des Moines. Yeah, that's where they are. They're in Des Moines.
Oh, they're in Omaha too. I mean,
they're in bars. I'm telling you, go to a bar that's mildly busy, and there's somebody else from Carroll there. If you're from Carroll, I'm telling you right now.
And if it's not Carroll, it's Halber, it's West Side, it's Arcadia, it's Templeton.
No,
that
yeah,
all counts as Carroll, doesn't it?
If you can see Carroll County, if you can see above the bar, you can order a beer. At least that's the way it was when I grew up. Hey, I wanted to tell you, speaking of growing up and those kinds of things, you know, this is something I think Carol would have done back in the day. But I was in Costco yesterday. I was in Costco a week or so ago, and I meant to mention this, and it made me think because I saw these at the Costco. I'm like, wow, that's kind of a fun way to get your Jell-O. A kindergarten in
we've done this story, buddy.
You already talked about that?
Yeah, the lady that brought the Jello shots to her kindergartner's party.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you a little bit of my personal though. I was there. I'm like, why in the middle of next to the frozen section at Costco do they have bags of Jello? And they're Jello shots. So like, oh, they probably want smaller portions. People are like watching their figure or whatever. I don't know. And they had to walk way up to it, and I look and like, why do they have Jello, like Jello brand Jello shots? And then you have fine print, kind of. It says contains vodka, and I'm like, oh my. And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then I was there yesterday, and not about a week later, they're not there anymore. I wonder if this story kind of put them out.
So the story of that lady, Bruno, she actually bought those from a home that she found a home business that made Jello shots for parties, and reached out to the lady and said, "Hey, I'm having a party. Can you make Jello shots?" And the lady said, "Yes." The woman replied, "Do they have alcohol?" The woman replies, "Yes." Why? And all she wrote back was kids. That was the end of their conversation. So the lady making the shots assumed that she had passed along the information that was needed. Yes, they have alcohol. Keep them away from the kids. That the lady asked because there were going to be kids at the party and wanted to know if she should keep them away from the kids. No. The Jello shots were for the kids. One of those kids did 6 of those shots.
Future partier. No, that is, I explained to my daughters, they don't quite get it. Call or in-person conversations are more robust, and you get to the point, you get the full conversation. I hate texts unless it's like, hey, you're going to be there at 11. Yes. If it's a yes or no, texts are great.
Yeah.
Here's the directions, like, one-off things, not anything you can read into it. Like, had a really great time last night, like that could mean like, I can't believe what you did, or I had a really great time, like you can't text stuff like that. You get out of context and kids.
Hey, so I do want, along the lines of partying and doing six Jello shots. One of our listeners wanted to know, went down to Fong's, had a Mai Tai. And I noticed this the other day. We went down there to Fong's, had dinner on last Friday night, met Chris and Dana Flagg down there. And Courtney and I decided it was Friday night. We're going to have a little fun. We ordered like one of the big party drink bowls. I can't think of what they're called. Tiki bowls?
Scorpion bowls? Or
Scorpion
whatever.
bowls? Yeah. It was awesome. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
But there are limits. The drinks are pretty potent down at Fong's, so you limit them 2 per customer, right?
Yes.
Okay.
To a point. Some of them, not all of them.
Not all the drinks.
Some of them are. It reminds me of the day back in the day. I used to drink Black Russian, pints of Black Russian, which is Kahlua and vodka on the rocks.
Do you put cream in there, or does that make it a White Russian?
That makes it a Caucasian, and I drank those too. But it's too filling if you're going to be all night. So, and I was watching my figure. I was only drinking pints of them, but so I couldn't put the cream in too. You put Coca-Cola in it, and then it's amazingly delicious. That's a Colorado Bulldog or Bullfrog or something like that. Really good.
Ross mentioned a drink. I'm 54 years old, soon to be 55. I've never had a Mai Tai ever in my life.
Oh, wow.
Me too, except for the part where you never had a Mai Tai. I'm 54, soon to be 55, but I've had several Mai Tais. It's a standard I judge every tiki bar against. My wife and I go in, and it's a tiki place. They say they're a tiki place. Give me your Mai Tai.
What is a Mai Tai?
Let me try your wings. Let me try your chili, and I'll tell you if it's good or bad. People like, they have opinion. I have opinion on Mai Tais. A Mai Tai is mostly alcohol. It's Jamaican rum, and it's try to not get too technical. It's a Jamaican rum with another rum along with it.
Okay, I got a stupid question. Besides being from Jamaica, that's like saying it's a Kentucky bourbon. I mean, I can have an Iowa bourbon, or I can have a bourbon made. What's the difference between a Jamaican rum and a Puerto Rican rum? Besides just being in Jamaica,
Jamaican rums have a lot more funk to them. they really are funkier. There's more flavors going on. A Puerto Rican rum's a little bit more streamlined. It's your Bacardis and that kind of thing. So it's just basically alcohol made with sugarcane. Your whiskeys are made with corn. A bourbon is made with corn, 51%. You can have malt whiskey, all malt whiskey, or single malt scotches. That's the difference. It's what's made. It's molasses rum, and those kind of things from the sugar making process that makes rum. Rum is the most affordable, most delicious, crazy drink you can get. And everyone thinks, oh, it's got a lot of sugar in it. No, it just has a sweetness to it that so does a bourbon and things. But it's barely any different calorically if they don't back add sugar than a vodka is. A lot of people say I got to drink vodka because I'm watching my figure. Well, it's like you can drink bourbon too because it's the same stuff. It's alcohol. If you want to watch your figure, probably don't drink alcohol, right? So
No. The vodka I don't believe has any carbs. That's why I drink the vodka.
Neither does bourbon.
Okay, then I drink bourbon too.
Yeah, and neither like Captain Morgan. That like be very clear. Captain Morgan, it has sugar in it and flavorings. That's not the rum I'm talking about. I'm talking about you can get like really crazy aged 12-year rums for a lot less expensive than you can get a bourbon. They're fun to drink. That's what when we were down in Dominican, I drank a 14-year-old rum on the rocks the whole time. They started calling me the name of the rum when I swam up to the bar. And and if I didn't drink so much of that rum, I could tell you right now what the name of that rum was, but I cannot remember it.
They were calling him it. He doesn't remember that.
Hey, you're blah 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 rum.
I've never had rum just on the rocks. Is that good?
It's amazing. If you like bourbon on the rocks, it's even better. Rum is better. It's really good.
Wow, I had no idea.
That always takes me back to the Brockmeyer episode when his dad died. You know, Brockmeyer's a raging alcoholic, and he needed something to drink. And I'm probably misremembering the story, but he got into his dad's trunk or something. He goes, it's rum, damn sugar alcohol. I only like the corn, you know, because he was a whiskey guy, wasn't a rum guy. So he painted rum as like this bad liquor.
No, and it's a thing. It's like people saying, I don't drink keg beer. I can only drink out of the bottle or a can because I get a real bad hangover when I drink out of a keg. It's like, yeah, because you never saw the bottom of your glass. You drank way more. I mean,
that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, I'm going to tell you, they don't go, hey, time to put, we got the bottled beer coming. So get the kegs off and let's start filling the bottles now.
Yeah, you get about a quarter left, and you're like, it's just backwash. Time to fill it back up.
Yeah. Hey, top me off. You know, I don't know. And when drinking a glass of beer too, I mean, the glass is like this and the bottle's like this. So, you know, you are able to drink it faster and easier.
All right.
That's how I drink my old tavern beer.
Just from my view right there, I like the bottle a lot better.
No, I like it. Like what do they say about that? You gotta when it's like that. How do you do that? You just gotta force it.
Not when it's like that.
We're talking about different things. Yes,
that's where the video audio combo is really nice. Yes.
Yeah, that's where phone calls are important. All right, so can you explain to us, because Travis had a couple of different beers for his daughter's graduation party last weekend. And I went over there and tried one of them, and it was like a classic, kind of like the old tavern. It was a classic beer, what I would call like a really crisp, light beer, okay? Travis referred to it as a lager, and he was like, I think you'll like the lager more than the ale. Dude, I thought lager was just another name for beer. Is lager a specific variation of beer?
All lagers are beers, but not all beers are lagers. Beers go into two directions. They're either lagers or ales most of the time. And if you want to talk about lambics, that's a whole nother story. But most beers fall into two categories: a Guinness, a Hefeweizen, or an ale. A Busch Light, an Old Tavern. Those are lagers.
Okay.
you can now they break down even more specific. An IPA is also an ale.
India Pale Ale. Yep.
Yeah. But lagers can also deviate and change. It's basically it boils down to what yeast they put in the mix. Ales are top fermenting and they ferment a lot quicker. They also ferment at a higher temperature. Lager is a derivation of the German word to put in a cavern, to lager something, to put away, to store. That's essentially what that means. And they are bottom fermenting yeast, and they take longer to make. So when you want to make a lager, it takes 5 to 6 weeks to make. An ale is like 10 days to 2 weeks, and you can drink it. And there's that's the 101, even lower than the 101 description, but lagers and ales are different. And then there's sometimes they're really the same. Now, I keep saying the Old Tavern, though. I'm telling you, y'all have to have it. We have it down at almost all of our places. It's a good one. You drink it, you feel like, oh, that was delicious. I need to have more. There's no aftertaste. It's just really good beer John Martin made. And we're selling it at all of our places. We got a patio party at Fong's with 4 Hour Parks. Sign up for that. It's a golf, 18 holes of golf, 18 miles of bike riding. And we're going to have a party at Fong's. It goes to Confluence, Fong's, and Captain Roy's. And every one of those places, of course, will have Old Tavern and a good time. Probably 200 people on bicycles rolling through town on Friday. If you want to sneak over, the Iowa Tap Room's having the Nash, and you can. They're having a patio party at the Iowa Tap Room, and we're going to be over with the Nash. Also, I'll be downtown at Fong's and at the Iowa Tap Room for that. So, lots of fun. And if you really want to have some good fun, get on down around noon today. Start drinking some Old Tavern, and then get onto our website footage. We're doing drone footage today and other things at Fong's. So. If you want to go have your lunch and get on and be on our website for the next 5 years, get down there. That's going to be a good time. And speaking of bicycles, I just want to tell everyone, I went to the Orchard Place website. I think we talked about this before. And Orchard Place is a place that helps kids that are having a hard time staying in school, stay in school. And it says right on their website, crisis. They're in crisis. They need your help, and a great way to do that is sign up for the Moonlight Classic. I think the tickets are just over $10, but you get to go on this Moonlight Classic bike ride. We host the event at the Iowa Tap Room. We have for almost a decade now. It's kind of a nighttime parade, lit up parade of bicycles through downtown Des Moines, and all proceeds go to Orchard Place. You can go to Eventbrite and search for tickets there, or I Googled Orchard Place Moonlight Classic, and you'll find ways to get signed up and get on that. So I really advise you all to do that. I've been on my bike the last few days. I'm going to get on it right after this. So get out there, bike around, have some good time. Beers are there. We just got the B cycles at Fong's. So you can rent a bike, ride around. We got bike racks coming. I'm doing so many things. I'm just kind of, you guys are just kind of, I'm not. I can't even
that's
say
right.
anything.
Yeah. But I want to reiterate some things, because Orchard Place is one of those things, Travis. We've talked about charities, and there are some charities that raise a lot of money. A lot of them do wonderful things, but they raise a lot of money. And then when you see how many people they truly impact, the math doesn't seem to math very well. Orchard Place is not one of those places. Orchard Place helps thousands of people in our community every year. This is a wonderful organization. So Bruno, glad you're helping out with this, and glad that you shine some light on it. I pulled up their website to get the numbers. They have helped 6,082 youth since 2024. In a year and a half, 6,000 kids in our community have benefited from Orchard Place.
We talked about this on the old show. They were their original name was like the Home for the Friendless Kids or something like that. And they've been going on for a century almost. It's important. I mean, we get involved with the community, and we kind of try to get involved with, like you say, Ross, is companies that are actually truly, the majority of your dollar goes straight to what they're trying to accomplish. And this is a really good one. There's so many other ones that we do, but this one I would just suggest. This is a one where you can have fun and do the right thing at the same time.
And $10 is pretty cheap to ride a bike, right? I mean, that's
to help a group that does amazing work in the community. Yeah,
I mean, as we get more things going on, I always I don't know exactly, but I believe like your $12 registration or whatever it is also includes a beer. It has in the past, but if it doesn't, that just means more money's going to the charity. But we do sell beer at the Iowa Tap Room across the streets, Fong's. We sell some of those Mai Tais that Travis loves. You can drink one of those and hop on your bike and join the ride. We got a home game for the Menace. I don't know if you know this. I didn't know this. They're 10-1. I haven't really been following them. They're doing well. They're going to be playing this weekend at 7 p.m. Out at Valley Stadium Saturday. I got Father's Day coming up. Lots of opportunities.
Happy Father's Day, by the way.
Yeah, happy Father's Day, everyone.
Is that this weekend?
We did it.
Yeah, I believe it's this week. Yeah, it's Sunday. So I've got my 32-year wedding anniversary today, and then All About Me Day on Sunday. It's All About Me Day. All About Me Day. All right.
Yeah, my daughter's. My daughter said, "Okay, is it okay if we work out? I think we get time and a half on Father's Day. Can we work that day? Because we're celebrating on Saturday." I'm like, "Go ahead." My kids love to work. You can't make kids want to do that. So it's awesome.
All right, buddy. We'll catch up with you next week. Have a good weekend.
You bet. Take care.
Happy Father's
Bye,
Day.
buddy.
Bruno joining us on the Rush Radio Show. My lovely wife just walked outside. I wonder if she knows it's our 32-year anniversary today. Does she know?
I bet she doesn't. I bet she doesn't.
She didn't
Probably
even look
right
at
past
me.
her.
My wife didn't even look at me.
Hey, better than the finger she usually flips you.
Yeah, that's true. She usually flips me the finger.
See, happy anniversary. That was her way of saying happy anniversary. Was not flipping you off in the morning.
Yeah. Her flipping me the finger and me flipping the finger, they're two different things. Two different things.
I love it. You make me uncomfortable and squeamish, but in like a fun way, where I'm like, stop it some more. Quit it. Keep going.
I'm glad you find me funny because she doesn't.
We think we're hilarious.
Yeah. We've always thought we were hilarious.
Yeah, right.
We're
That's why we
not.
get along so well.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. What a fun show today. What an absolute
Hey,
fun
real
show.
quick, I got this from our buddy Brian Duax. Ty Duax been 2 goals, 2 assists the last 2 games. Keep it up, Ty. Happy to hear it. That's
He's
from our
playing
buddy
for the
Brian.
Menace too, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
2 goals and 2 goals and assist in last 2 games. Brian would want me to be very clear about that. That's awesome. That's high
impressive.
level.
That is very, very high level. And I believe his son is like the best soccer player in the state.
Now, again, couple of boys there, but we're impressive. That Duax family.
All right, that's the end of the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. Have a great Thursday, everybody. Enjoy it.
Hey, everybody. Mason Miller, sales manager out here at Mini of Des Moines. We got some great things going on this month. Right now, you can lease a brand new Countryman for as low as $369 a month for 39 months. Also, we're running a 3.99% at up to 60 on all models, excluding the convertible. Also, you can lease a new 2-door hardtop as low as $299 a month lease. If you have any other questions, come visit your favorite motoring advisor or visit us online at miniofdesmoines.com.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's 25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
Are you thinking about buying a home this year? Start by getting pre-approved with Gary Presnall at Northwest Bank in Des Moines to see how much you can qualify for and what loan programs meet your needs. Gary can get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less with a pre-approval letter to you. Gary offers first-time homebuyers programs, VA loans along with FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Summer's here, and that means extra miles on your car. With road trips, summer activities, and more, stop in now and get a vehicle inspection to make sure your Land Rover is in the best shape possible. We'll even throw in $25 off an oil change. Give us a call or head online at LandRoverDesMoines.com to schedule your appointment today.
Bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis.